Hey, what's going on? It's Coach Raj and I'm back with a brand new video. Today I'm talking about why going too low on your calories is actually hindering your progress, and it's the reason why you're not losing weight. Okay, so we're just going to go through it right now and why you should stop being on low calorie diets and why they're making you not see progress. Okay, so number one, low calorie diet, it's not sustainable. Okay, so when you're trying to lose weight, you want to make sure that you have a plan that you see yourself doing for a long period of time, because the thing is, weight loss takes time, and if you try to rush it, it's going to backfire. Okay, so whatever plan you're following, really think about it. Can you do this for an extended period of time, not just for a couple of days or a couple of weeks? Okay, can you eat this many calories for a few months, maybe? Okay, if you have more weight to lose, really think about that, because a low calorie diet, right, 1,000 calories, whatever it may be, something very low like that, you can't do that for a long period of time. You're gonna end up being burnt out. You are going to be miserable. Okay, it's not sustainable, and the reason why you keep giving up and not seeing results is because you keep setting your calories so low. It's not sustainable. Okay, so that's the first reason why I don't recommend low calorie diets and you should stop doing it. It's because sustainability is key when it comes to losing weight, and if your plan isn't sustainable, well, you're doomed from the start. Okay, so that goes into my next one right here, next tip, and the next reason why you shouldn't, follow a low-calorie diet is because you're going to be very hungry. Now, here's the thing: when you're in a calorie deficit, when you're trying to lose weight, it's normal to be hungry, right? To have some level of hunger, totally normal. It's a normal response from your body, but many people who follow a low-calorie diet, very low, what they experience is ravenous hunger. They experience hunger throughout the day, all day, right? If you're following a diet right now and you're always hungry and you're always thinking about food, well, that's not okay, because something's wrong there. You shouldn't be always hungry when your goal is to lose weight. Yes, there are going to be times where you're more hungry. There's going to be times where you're feeling that hunger in your stomach, but you shouldn't be ravenous, right? You shouldn't be constantly thinking about food. And unfortunately, this happens a lot when people, set their calories too low. What happens is, they don't get to eat enough food, right? Let's say it's 1,000 calories. They don't get to eat enough food. They're always thinking about when they can eat next because they're so hungry. That's just not normal, okay? That's just not okay when it comes to losing weight. Like I said, it's normal to be hungry, but if you're very hungry and you're always thinking about food, it's not okay, right? And the way you can help combat that is by raising your calories, right? Eating more food to help, combat that hunger. Because if you're always hungry and you're always thinking about food, it's a dangerous path, okay? It's not healthy to just be always thinking about when your next meal is. So that's another reason why you shouldn't set your calories too low. It's because you're going to be very hungry, and that sucks, okay? Number three, it's too restrictive. Let's say your goal is 1,000 calories or whatever it may be, 1,200 calories. That's very restrictive. Why? Well, you don't get to eat a lot of food with 1,200 calories, okay? Think about that. Like, 1,200 calories does not stretch very far. It doesn't go very far for the day. So if you're eating 1,200 calories, you're going to be burnt out, right? It's going to backfire. You're going to be thinking about food all the time. You're going to be forced to eat celery and carrot sticks because those are the only things that you can eat without going over your 1,200 calories, right? Now, for some people, in special cases, you can get away with eating a little bit less, maybe because you don't need as many, calories to function, right? But for most people out there, you can get away with losing weight eating more than 1,200 calories. You don't have to go super low, right? Dipping into 1,000 calories or something like that. You don't have to go into those low calories to lose weight, okay? It's very restrictive. And if your goal is to lose weight, you don't have to be following a restrictive plan. Like I said, it's just gonna backfire on you, and I don't want that to happen to you, okay? okay? The reason why you're in this vicious cycle of losing weight, putting it back on, starting and restarting is because you're setting yourself up for failure by setting your calories too low. You're too restrictive, and that's gonna make you have disordered eating problems. It's gonna make you, just not have a great relationship with food if you're constantly being restrictive, banning your favorite foods, saying you can't have certain foods, which is not true. You can have foods you enjoy while losing weight. It's entirely possible, but it's not possible if your calories are so low to the point where you can only eat like 1,000 calories. Of course you're gonna hate weight loss. Of course you're gonna resent it, right? Because you think that's the only way to go about it, when that's not true. That's the worst way to go about it, is by going way too low, okay? It's too restrictive, these low calorie diets. Number 4 right here, can lead to binge eating and overeating. Very, very common. If you set your calories for, let's say, 1,000 calories, right? And if you're only allowed 1,000 calories, after a few days or maybe a couple weeks max, you're gonna be so frustrated. You're gonna be always thinking about food, right? You're gonna go out and you're gonna eat, have a full-on binge, or you're gonna overeat for an entire week or more, simply because you decided to restrict yourself so much, and you resisted, and then finally, once you got your hands on a certain type of food, you went all out because you restricted for so long. So that's why I don't recommend eating a low calorie diet, because it can lead to a whole slew of problems that you can easily avoid by just eating more calories, still losing weight, still being in a calorie deficit, of course, but not super low to the point where you can't even enjoy your favorite foods. Because if you're on a diet and you can't enjoy some of your favorite foods, it's gonna suck. You're gonna want to quit, and that's the reason why you're probably watching this video, is because you restrict too much and you view foods as good or bad, when in reality there's nutritious foods and there's less nutritious foods. They're not good or bad, right? You could still enjoy some ice cream or a slice of pizza, right, and still fit it into your goal. Don't have to completely restrict your food, because it's going to lead to overeating. When you're overeating, you feel guilty, and it's it sucks, right? I'm sure you know that. Someone who struggled with overeating, the reason why I did that was because all I would do was set my calories low, right? I would do a bunch of cardio, and I would be super hungry, and then finally at one point I couldn't take it, and I decided to eat the entire fridge. And that's not a great idea, because that can lead to a whole mess of problems, especially mentally, right? It's very tough. So that's why low calorie diets, not a fan of. You shouldn't be doing very low calorie diets. And the last reason right here, just a little take home message for you: slow and steady wins the race. As cliche as that sounds, when you're trying to lose weight, honestly, the slower the better, simply because you're gonna feel good doing it. You don't have to feel terrible, right? You're gonna be able to enjoy a decent amount of food and still lose weight, right? You're going to see progress, and you're not gonna end up binge eating. You're not gonna end up overeating because you set your calories so low. You're not gonna feel so restricted because your calories are at an appropriate level, right? You're not going to feel so, you're not gonna feel so hungry, right? All these points, right? All these things I'm covering, it's not gonna happen, right, if you are slow and steady. But if you wanna rush your results, all these things are bound to happen, and it's gonna end up making you, rebound. Your relationship with food is going to suffer, and that's not good, right? That's the main goal, is to have a more healthy relationship with food, and it's very difficult to do that when you're constantly restricting, you're banning your favorite foods. All these things, can happen if you set your calories too low. So when your goal is weight loss, please don't think that, less is better, right? Like 1,000 calories. Don't think that going as low as you can is gonna yield better results, because in the end, it's not, right? Less is not always more, especially when it comes to weight loss. if you restrict yourself to the point where you're starving yourself, you are going to have a terrible time, and I don't want that to happen. So slow and steady, right? Pick a number that's not 1,000, not 1,200. Eat a little bit more, right? You can still lose weight, still enjoy your favorite foods, and you can still see great results. But if you decide to just crash diet and go super low on your calories, it's not going to be a fun time. You're going to want to give up, and you're probably going to end up right back here at this video. Stop the low calorie diets. Stop them, right? Pick an appropriate amount of calories to eat. Stop thinking starving yourself is the answer to losing weight and keeping it off. Because a very low calorie diet can help you lose weight, but you're just gonna gain it all back because you didn't learn anything. All you learned is that you starved yourself and you were really hungry, okay? That's not okay. Doing a low calorie diet like this, very low, restricting yourself, it's only going to lead to a road of disordered eating and a bunch of unhealthy patterns and habits that can really affect the years to come, and it can affect your relationship with food. So what I do recommend is being slow and steady, because that wins the race. Yeah, stop trying to rush results and develop those healthy habits. Hope this video helped you out. If it did, let me know. But yeah, peace.